Good morning. Hello and welcome to Inspirational Message Monday on the Every Day is a New Day show. So happy to see you all here. We've got some really awesome passages that I'm going to be reading from two different books today. And then, of course, we're going to pull cards. And before we get into that, for those just joining for the very first time, welcome. So good to see you here. My name is Kim O'Neill. I'm a transformational confidence coach for spiritually curious wellness professionals who are in that space of feeling unfulfilled. And if you're looking for more of that courage, confidence, and clarity, then I absolutely can support you in being able to move forward in ways that are meaningful for you. And you can definitely go to KimO'NeillCoaching.com and connect with me there and see how I can support you in that. And we just announced last week the Let Your Light Shine movement. And I am so happy and thrilled to see that it is reaching people in countries all over right now, truly. And of course, there are so many more countries to connect with people in. And so just know this is for you, the Let Your Light Shine movement. If you didn't see that announcement last week, then definitely check it out on whether on YouTube or Facebook. Go to the Let Your Light Shine movement page, which is right down at the bottom there. And you have an open invitation to join the Let Your Light Shine movement. You are amazing. Just as you are in this moment, you are enough. And so I hope to see you there, seeing that you understand your light, because in you shining, you help our world shine that much brighter. And so with that, hello to our live viewers. Who do we have here already? Let's see here. I see Helene is here with us. And it looks like we may have Anne, who is also with us. Hello, Anne. And of course, Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Good to see you too. Let's get into our readings. And let me also acknowledge for those who come back week after week, you may notice I'm a little flexible on the starting time. And personally, I like that. For me personally, that's awesome. And I just want to affirm that if you want to make sure to not miss these, then something you could do is definitely on Facebook or on YouTube. Definitely, on YouTube it'd be hit that bell so that you get notified when a new video goes live, or when you see the video saying that I'm going to go live, hit the set reminder. And you can do the same thing on Facebook to make sure that you get notified every time I go live. So, and hello to Joanne. I see you too. Okay. Our very first book, both of these books, the passages are going to be a little long, but they're really good messages. So we have here, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Your Family. Simple ways to keep daily responsibilities and household chaos from taking over your life. And so when I randomly opened up, it opened up to chapter 60, titled Put Things in Perspective. And so I am going to read most all of that, if not all of it, for sure. So here we go. Put things in perspective. One of the major themes of this book is that while it's easy to allow little things to take over our lives, there are things we can do to make life around the house less stressful. I believe that one of the most important things we can do is to put things in perspective. Of course, putting things in perspective can seem a little vague. After all, what does that really mean? I thought a great deal about this issue, and to me, it simply means remembering that most of the things that upset us the most are not life or death emergencies. In fact, I find it fascinating that when people are confronted with truly big stuff, natural disasters, divorce, financial crisis, illness, death of loved ones, sick children, aging parents, and so forth, most of them are remarkably courageous and innovative. For some reason, we respond to major life events by rising to the occasion, calling on our inner strength and getting through whatever it is that life has to offer. We pray, ask for help, become highly creative, and exhibit enormous endurance. However, the same people, all of us, who somehow get through a chemical addiction, business disaster, or some other crisis, are often overwhelmed, bent out of shape, easily annoyed, stressed out, frustrated, and bothered by all the daily small stuff that is part of everyone's life. Somehow it's the little stuff, not the big stuff, that we struggle with the most. I've found it to be very helpful to remind myself each and every day how trivial most things really are. Whether it's dealing with bills, Crabby or demanding children, a messy home, pesky neighbors, a barking dog, an overwhelming schedule, a teenage party next door, a quarrel with my spouse, a traffic jam, an unreturned phone call, weeds in the yard, whatever. In reality, it's all small stuff. I watch the news and remind myself that the stuff I have to deal with isn't front page news. A vast, vast majority of the time, it's not life or death. And if I see all the things confronting me as small stuff instead of a series of major emergencies, it's all so much easier to deal with. With perspective, life is smoother and more manageable. We're all so blessed to be alive, to be God's guests on this beautiful planet. Whether it takes us 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get home from work need not interfere with our gratitude. If our kids are bickering, we can get all upset and let it ruin our day, or we can accept it as part of raising a family. If our homes aren't perfectly clean, we can feel defeated and worthless, or we can remember how fortunate we are to have a shelter to live in. If we can't afford the vacation we really want, we can feel victimized and sorry for ourselves, or we can plan a special adventure within our own budget. I could probably go on for many pages, but the point is that our response is up to us. We can complain that life isn't perfect and wait for life to accommodate us with fewer demands, or we can put things in perspective and lighten up a little. If you're like most people, you've probably already tried the struggle approach to life. My suggestion is that we all strive to become a little more accepting of life and take it as it comes. Put things in perspective. The more we're able to do so, the happier and less stressed we will become. Is that speaking to you? Does that bring up anything in this moment? And that's not to say that things happening in the world at this time are small things or anything of that sort, but I think we can all relate to this in our own way. And it's a good reminder of, wait a second. You know what? Maybe what I'm dealing with doesn't have to be such a big astronomical thing. And there's a way to put it in perspective that actually eases some of the overwhelm or the stress. And we have a comment here, perspective is key, always. Okay, awesome. And Sherry is also saying resonates. Beautiful. It resonates with me too, for sure. Absolutely. So let's move on to our second book, another awesome passage here. I'm going to be reading from Brene Brown's Braving the Wilderness. And the little title here is The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone. And this is an awesome book that I have honestly only read excerpts from. So I look forward to the day when I actually go from front to back to reading the whole thing. So the passage we're going to read is on page 144, a beautiful angel number. That's how I relate to that number. And this section is titled Courage and the Collective. And again, I will be reading both of these pages here. So let's get going. Courage and the Collective. One of the things I love to do when I teach the concept of vulnerability is to show students videos of flash mobs and other moments of collective joy. What you'll see in all these videos is the way school-aged children unapologetically and wholeheartedly lean into the experience. Adults? Some yes and not so much. Tweens and teens? Rarely. They're more likely to be mortified. Both joy and pain are vulnerable experiences to feel on our own, and even more so with strangers. The foundation of courage is vulnerability, the ability to navigate uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It takes courage to open ourselves up to joy. In fact, as I've written in other books, I believe joy is probably the most vulnerable emotion we experience. We're afraid that if we allow ourselves to feel it, we'll get blindsided by disaster or disappointment. That's why in moments of real joy, many of us dress rehearse tragedy. We see our child leave for the prom, and all we can think is car crash. We get excited about an upcoming vacation, and we start thinking hurricane. We try to beat vulnerability to the punch by imagining the worst or feeling nothing in hopes that the other shoe won't drop. I call it foreboding joy. The only way to combat foreboding joy is gratitude. Across the years, the men and women who could most fully lean into joy were those who practiced gratitude. In those vulnerable moments of individual or collective joy, we need to practice gratitude. Pain is also a vulnerable emotion. It takes real courage to allow ourselves to feel pain. When we're suffering, many of us are better at causing pain than feeling it. We spread hurt rather than let it inside. Ooh. We spread hurt rather than let it inside. So, to seek out moments of collective joy and to show up for moments of collective pain, we have to be brave. That means we have to be vulnerable. In all my research's 200,000 plus pieces of data, I can't find a single example of courage that didn't require vulnerability. Can you in your life? Can you think of one moment of courage that didn't require risk, uncertainty, and emotional exposure? I know the answer is no. I've asked too many people who say this, including special operations soldiers. No vulnerability, no courage. We have to show up and put ourselves out there. When the singing starts and the dancing is underway, at the very least, we need to tap our toes and hum along. When the tears fall and the hard story is shared, we have to show up and stay with the pain. And as much as we value going it alone, and as much as we sometimes gather together for the wrong reasons, in our hearts, we want to believe that despite our differences and despite the need to brave the wilderness, we don't always have to walk alone. And that's the end of that one. So I know both of those went a bit deep. For those who came in a little late, we just read a passage from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Your Family, talking all about perspective. And then here we just talked about courage and perspective, which brought up, of course, vulnerability, joy, courage, pain, and leaning into those, allowing ourselves to lean into them. And the way I see this is when you allow something, you actually stop resisting it so you can be in flow, which means feeling the pain first so you can actually stop feeling it sooner. So, deep messages. I know. And Helene is saying amen to that. She said amen. Awesome. Okay, so let's pull some cards. Let's see what wants to come through. Let's follow that up with a self-love card. Let's do that first. How to Love Yourself by Louise Hay. Let's pull some cards to add to our deep and yet simplistic messages. Do you sense the truth in those messages? Right? Simple and yet so deep and true. It's kind of like that resisting of those things that, I don't know, what's the articulation I'm looking for on that? I think you get what I'm saying though. Okay, let's see what self-love card wants to come through to expand on today's messages. Here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. That's actually the card that just comes with the deck. So that's not the one. Let's see here. There we go. What do we have here? I love it. Lifetime after lifetime, I am a shining spirit, a beautiful light. The back says, I am always safe. I am eternal. I will go on forever from experience to experience. And what I'm getting right now is allow that to sink in deeper than it may have before, ever before. You are safe. You are eternal. You will go on forever from experience to experience. How's that for some perspective? And with that, of course, I have to say, if you haven't already, would love to see you join the Let Your Light Shine movement. And that link is at the bottom of the screen there. Let's pull another self-love card. Let's see what added message wants to come through. Oh, this one's awesome. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Yeah, the deep messages are just, they're just floating right to the surface today, aren't they? I affirm that I'm willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Let's go for one more. One more message. Is there one more self-love message that would like to come through? Yep, there is. Fill into my lap. We have here. I am part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. You are part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. It says, I know I am one with all life. I am the beauty and joy of the universe, expressing and receiving. Let's move on to another deck. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pull a card from Gary Stewart's Constellations deck. Since we're talking about deep messages coming through, it's like there's this combined deepness to the messages today. That's what I sense. And yet such simplicity. And I think that simplicity is speaking to the truth, right? Truth sounds like something that is so obvious, and yet we can be in denial of it, right? We can turn from it. We can, there can be many truths. That's certainly right. There can be many truths. True simultaneously. And so with that, let's go ahead and pull a card. I see Betty is saying amen as well. Awesome, Betty. Awesome. Let's see here. Which way do I have the deck here? Okay. So allowing whatever message wants to come through, being of service to today's live and replay audience. Oh, how funny. Okay. So we have here source. This was on the top of the deck before I started shuffling, and then it's the one that came out too. So that's excellent. So the back says source, the beginning or place of origin of all that is. And the insight this card has is, remember, source is already inside you as well as outside of you. External entities may want you to think they control source, but in reality, you are source. Realizing you are source helps you feel connected to a power greater than yourself. Failing to realize this truth may cause you to feel victimized and powerless. Realizing source is your birthright supports you to live a more engaged and enlightened life. So much more depth right there, right? Whew, 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 whew. We have a comment here from a live viewer saying absolutely. Yeah. Let's see if there's another one that wants to come through. Oh my gosh, is this? No, that's, okay, I'm gonna put these back in the deck. Okay, let's see what added message wants to come through here. There we go. What do we have? Oh, this is nice. Future. Well, look at this. Okay, future. The future is the moment after now. The insight is, remember you are, I love this one. Remember, you are your ancestors' dreams come true. Remember, you are your ancestors' dreams come true. You are their gift to posterity. You are proof that all the choices, good or bad, resulted in something positive. Your opportunity is to make choices that honor and respect their memory best. The choices you make give you an opportunity to affect your future. The time to choose a better future is now. Oh my goodness. Oh, just take that in. Oh my goodness. Helene is saying these cards are pulling on my heart. Oh, Helene, and I feel that. Love it. Absolutely. I think we're going to end there. We're going to end there. This deck is so rich with so many deep subjects it can tap into. And I find it fascinating that the out came 2 cards. Two cards that are just so full of, we have source and future, so full of openness, so full of expansion, so full of possibilities. Source and future, right? And that speaks to being in the present, right? Allowing what was to be, allowing the truth. The truth that you are your source to be what remains. That's what I see. Okay, let's pull another card. Let's go ahead and pull from, we're going to go ahead and pull from the Mirrors deck. Let's do that. We're going to pull from Janet Starr and Jeff Rollins' Mirrors deck. And so previously that was Gary Stewart's Constellation Healing Oracle Cards deck. Okay, let's see what wants to come through the Mirrors deck. Okay, and I got to be mindful of time. Okay, let's see here. Whew, such awesome messages. Okay. Okay, what message wants to come through? Or maybe rather, what question? What words? Because these cards are a little different. Let's see here. Added, there we go. What is this? Ooh, we have illuminate. And in the middle there is the image of a lighthouse. And the question at the bottom says, is it time to shine so the world can see you? Hello. If you haven't yet joined the Let Your Light Shine movement, you have an open invitation. When you shine, our world shines that much brighter. How about seeing the truth in how you already shine? And who the gift of who you are already is, without anything else needing to change right now in this moment. Remember, you are your ancestors' dreams come true, which means you already are enough. You already have enough. The choices you make give you an opportunity to affect your future. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's see, how we doing? We're doing good on time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull, you know what? Actually, let's move on. Let's pull an Abraham Hicks well-being card. Let's see what added message. Betty is saying, I joined. I saw that you joined, Betty. I love, love, love it. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you joined. And so many people are going to be inspired by seeing you shine your light. To me, that's how this works. One person shines their light simply by recognizing the light in themselves, which empowers other people to know and remember that they already have permission to shine too, just as they are in this moment. I love it. Okay, so added message. What Abraham? Okay. Okay, we'll just do that. What's this top one? This top one says, it is not my work to control others. The back says, trying to limit anybody about anything defies the laws of the universe. It cannot be done. You cannot control others, but you can control and create your own reality. Absolutely. And that I hear that speaking more so to the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff book, putting things into perspective. The more we accept and embrace who we are, the more you accept and embrace who you are, it becomes so much easier to accept and embrace others who are different. It really does. And it becomes this beautiful ripple effect of love and flow. Let's see what added message. Is there an added message that wants to come through from the Abraham Hicks Wellbeing deck? Okay, we'll take this top one. What do we have here? We have, it looks like this. Through the corridor of my joy is the pathway to my desire. Most say, when I get that, I will be joyful. But you must be joyful first. You must start with the determination that I will not settle for less than feeling good. Woo! And this is absolutely speaking to the message in Braving the Wilderness. Having the courage to feel vulnerable, having the courage to allow yourself to feel joy, to feel good, without also waiting for the other shoe to drop, without also expecting there's going to be some tragedy around the corner. How about that takes courage, right? That takes courage to release. What if it actually can be that good? What if there's only good? What if it's fearing that something bad is going to happen? That's actually what creates the bad thing. What if it's possible to release that inclination to expect something bad and have a knee-jerk reaction, right? What if it's possible that you could have one awesome thing after another, followed by another, and then another, and there's just one long stream of that. I just hit the light. That happens, right? What if everything is possible? All possibilities exist. And so it can take a recalibration of where am I focusing? How am I tuning my thoughts, my expectations to what I think is possible, what I believe is possible? Am I aware of what I believe is possible? Right? So I know that's a ton of questions. So those can all be journal prompts. If any of this is speaking to you, those can all be journal prompts right there. Because shifting absolutely is possible. And so we're moving on now. I'm going to pull a card from the Power of Chakras deck. I got to look up who this deck is from because it doesn't put the name on the box. So let's see here. Yeah, I've got a few more minutes and then we'll be wrapping up here. Okay, what? Oh, okay, that was kind of a mess. Let's do that again. What card has a message for us today? Oh. We're going to try it again. That one flipped over on the back side. I can't see it. You know what? I'll take a screenshot of it and post it in the Every Day is a New Day group on Facebook. So if you are in there, you'll get to see what that card is. If you're not in there, you are invited. So come on over to the Every Day is a New Day group on Facebook. Okay, we have here 5th chakra, throat chakra, setting boundaries. Absolutely. And we have 3 messages on here. I feel like 3. Let's see what 3 says. Okay, 3 says, I speak up for myself and I set boundaries regarding other people's behavior. I do this by asking for what I do want, such as respect, patience, tolerance, and support, rather than telling them what I don't want. Ooh. I speak up for myself and I set boundaries regarding other people's behavior. I do this by asking for what I do want, such as respect, patience, tolerance, and support, rather than telling them what I don't want. Whew. Is that speaking to you? Does that resonate for you? I see some good comments in the chat there. Okay, live on Facebook. Yes, yes, yes. And let's go ahead and we're going to pull. This is where I want to pull one card from every deck. One card from every deck. Let's pull a card from Brendon Burchard's Motivation Manifesto. And let's see here. We're going to pull 2 more cards. We're going to pull maybe 3 cards. Okay, let's see what added message wants to come through on this deck. Betty is saying, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see what added message wants to come through. Do you notice a theme? Let me ask you first, because I tend to talk about themes and how they connect. Do you notice a theme? What is coming through for you? Okay, the card that flipped over is, these cards are so thick. Okay, it says, we do not need more time. We need a stronger reason to act so that we use time more effectively. Ooh. Ooh. We do not need more time. We need a stronger reason to act so that we use time more effectively. Absolutely. That makes total sense. Right? When you're more passionate about something, for instance, the Let Your Light Shine movement, it wasn't ready to be announced, to be shared publicly right away. Sorry, I'm looking. It wasn't ready to be shared right away. And what am I trying to say here? Anyway, time became a factor because there was so much energy behind it. So let's pull an angel card from Keith Leon S's Walking with Your Angels deck. We love this beautiful deck. That's the cover. And there's the artwork. Gorgeous, gorgeous. What message wants to come through for everybody who views today's video? Hold on. Okay, what do we have here? We have here Archangel Ariel. Focusing on Mother Earth's elements, animals, and plants will bring a soft and compassionate energy into your being. If you'd like to commune with me and invite me to walk by your side, you may wish to burn a pink or rainbow candle while you make the invitation. These colors bring forth the essence of unconditional love. Archangel Ariel. And I think it's cool that the card gives, something that you can do, right? You can, light a candle. And I also believe it, connecting with angels and asking for their guidance and assistance doesn't require anything external other than simply choosing to ask for help, choosing to, say that prayer and ask for guidance, assistance, whatever it may be. And so then let's wrap up with a postcard from Spirit. I think these messages always speak to everyone. Is that correct? Do you agree? Let's see here. So many awesome messages in the live chat. I will have to look at those again after we are live. It's so good to see you all here. And I love seeing that these cards are resonating with you, it looks like. Awesome. Love, love, love it. Okay. Postcard from Spirit. What is our final closing message for today for everyone who views today's video live and on the replay? There we go. Okay. The bottom says, you are loved. And the other side says, dearest you, we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth it into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you, always and forever. We just adore you over here. That was beautiful. And with that, that is our inspirational message Monday for today. And thank you all for being here. Just as Helene is saying, I say as well to you. Remember, all things can have a shifting of perspective that when you do that, helps illuminate the truth, bring you back to a space of harmoniousness, knowing that you are the source. You get to choose. You can only control and create your own reality ultimately, right? And you are always safe. You are eternal. And where's that one that talked about, yes, here we go again. You are your ancestors' dreams come true. You are proof that all the choices, good or bad, resulted in something positive. You are loved. Okay, you guys are beautiful. Have an amazing, amazing week. I love these. I look forward to seeing you come back again, whether live or on the replay. Let me know in the comments if you haven't already. What are you taking away from today's conversation, from today's messages, from the energy flow that came through today? What are you taking away? And if you are looking to cultivate more of that courage, confidence, and clarity to shine your light, be more of who you are in the world, then I absolutely invite you to connect with me over on KimO'NeillCoaching.com. So much love to you. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.